You are watching Metropole Television. This is Business AM. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Thank you very much for joining us for the last part of our show this morning. And let's talk about the effects of COVID-19, which we have been talking about throughout this entire time. Good. So the conversation has been going online. We have had conversations about what you need, therefore, to get online and exactly how you need to push your businesses online. Which means, therefore, that the conversations about taking businesses online has to take the side of understanding the future of the internet. Like, how are you going to position your business for that future? Good. A lot of businesses and companies are coming up with, I would say, remedies that are going to actually help you position yourself better as you understand what it is that you need for your business. This morning, we are glad to welcome Cisco into the building. We don't have Kimeu this morning, who's going to talk us about what new products that Cisco is coming up with. And most importantly, let's talk about where we are today, WebEx. Saleh, good morning.
Good morning, Simba. How are you? Thank you for having me.
Anytime. Let's talk about where we're doing this interview today, WebEx. Let's understand that first before we talk about anything that we want to talk about today.
All right, great. Thank you, Simba. WebEx is really a leading enterprise solution for video conferencing, online meetings, screen shares, webinars, web conferencing, cloud calling, anything, name it. And we have three different flavors that you can get out of WebEx. So you could have a WebEx meeting similar to what we are having today, where we can have a video conference and interview, as we heard. Or you could have a WebEx team, which is really an application that you can share documents, you can share video calling, you can communicate and collaborate from wherever you are. But you also can have WebEx calling, which brings your system to the cloud and makes you receive and make calls from any device. So WebEx is a platform that any of our users or even yourselves as media houses can use.
And how long has it been in operation?
WebEx has been in operation, I believe, for more than 25 years. It's an acquisition that Cisco made. And interestingly, when COVID happened and a lot of companies started to go home to work from home, a lot of people were confused and unable to really figure out how to work. But for us, it was completely normal because we've always used WebEx. We've always worked with WebEx. So transitioning from working in the office into the home was very easy. We get connected very easily. You can connect it with devices. You can do it off web conferences. So it's been with us for a while. We have quite a number of users on it.
I'm asking you this because we're at the new entrance to this product. We're still in the trial period. We're still going around understanding it. So what would you say is better in WebEx than other platforms that we already know are getting used now?
A very good question. And I wouldn't just say better. I would say, what is it that businesses want to be able to achieve? The first and most important thing is consistent quality. Cisco lives to empower teams. One of the best way to empower teams is to enable them to work from wherever they are at. The WebEx platform, and I'm glad that you are on a trial for it, allows you to be able to get connections with your employees, with your colleagues, wherever you are at. Now, that's common with a lot of web conferencing platforms. But more importantly, because Cisco is by our DNA, our security, we embed security in our technology. WebEx is secure from the way it's built up, but even how we secure it around using our different security products. So I would say you get a consistent connection, the conversation that we are having, but you also have security embedded in it. So you're not worried about the communications that you're having, end-to-end encryption.
So let's get into the gist of the conversation this morning. Therefore, you are talking about the future of the internet. That is a term that everybody wants to understand what we're talking about, that future of the internet, and why is that conversation important now more than ever?
Excellent. When we launched the future of internet, we did not even anticipate that we would be in the situation we are in right now. COVID-19 was not even a conversation. And what we were looking at is launching what we call the Cisco One and understanding where we had come from in the past. So Cisco has played a very critical role in building in the internet as we know it right now. We've seen what is possible with the internet and connections. Having this conversation is a perfect example. Enabling education online is another example. Telehealth medicine. But when we think about where we're going, the internet of today is not going to be able to support what happens in the future and what we see. And even more importantly, different from where we were at in December when we launched the internet of the future and the conversation that we were having around the internet of the future, it's become more and more clear that the internet is the platform that people will need to be able to go forward. You can think about how many businesses had to shut down and quickly figure out how they're going to get themselves moving. You think about telemedicine today and telehealth, and especially with the social distancing requirement, you can enable care and outcomes of patients with social distancing using technology. The number of devices that will literally come online by 2022 will determine whether the current internet can support or not support it. So really, the internet of the future is about Wi-Fi 6. It's about the number of devices that will come online and how we can enable them. It's the use cases. And we see these use cases very, very importantly around healthcare, around education, around how governments are run. Today, we are seeing governments doing legislation digitally because COVID is with us. And you want to be able to enable such use cases that customers will probably need. And we are proud that we are capable and able to deliver the internet of the future.
Right. So what would you say before COVID-19 would be the best description of how we understood the internet, and how has it changed now as we try to run our businesses during this COVID-19 pandemic?
Yeah. A lot of people consider the internet as being able to go to social media, sending some videos, picked up a lot, still is. It was more about a social life and maybe sending emails and doing a little bit of online sharing. Today, the backbone of a lot of businesses is the internet, because all of a sudden we needed to be away. We've not been able to go back to our offices because basically we're working from home. All of a sudden we needed to run our businesses, take our businesses online for those who had it. A lot of businesses have gone online, but be able to sustain and have a secure business online. So if I look at where we were at pre-COVID and what we are likely to see going post-COVID, because it's a journey, we're not there yet, is while we took the internet for granted and advantage and not maybe something that we were focusing on, COVID has actually shown us that there is such a discrepancy between companies that are currently connected and capable of moving online and agile. In fact, IT leaders contend with the fact that they must not keeping companies, it's how quickly home organize them online. We'll see a lot of use cases come online. I try to able to go and have online, but governments are struggling. Divide that we need to as quickly as possible help and figure out how we can take. But see the organizations a lot because of the requirement for the internet.
Now, do you know products that you're actually now pushing into this future of the internet? Let me just use that term now because I actually do understand it. They look to stress on safety online. Why that stress? And is that a term that we need to understand now more better than we had, since we are talking about taking all our businesses online?
Security is very important. In fact, when we poll leaders and CIOs, their number one concern is security. The second one is complexity. And the two go hand in hand. The more people get online, of course, the more the attackers and the bad people have a bigger surface area to be able to attack people. You want to take a situation and think about a student who is currently on an online class. The parents probably do not understand technology. The teachers using technology, struggling just to use technology as we have been struggling. However, they are sharing information and they don't know how much of their information is secure or not secure. So security becomes a very critical and important factor. In fact, for Cisco, we see security as a top CIO priority. When we enable solutions, we always enable solutions with security. The way we build our own infrastructure, our solutions and our products, security is embedded in it. It is in our DNA. We don't bolt it on, we build it ground up. So meaning that we consider security as a very critical requirement. And I hope as organizations go online more, they start to think about what security is. But allow me to talk about one of the products that we recently launched. On the 16th and 17th, we had what we call Cisco Live. And during Cisco Live, we actually made an announcement of a product called Cisco Securex. And Securex will be available by the end of this month. It's actually not something that we are selling. It is a solution that brings together the plethora of security solutions that our customers have, Cisco solutions and third-party applications into one platform. Because one of the biggest challenges that IT people face is being able to make sense of all the triggers that come out when you're using security products. And the more complex your environment is, meaning the number of product solutions that you have on your environment, the more complex it becomes for you to be able to make sense of what is going on or even to secure the environment. Cisco Securex actually just brings all this together for free for any of our customers at the end of this month, and for any new existing customers, they can be able to access it. But what really powers Cisco Securex is what we call Cisco Talos, which is a pool of engineers that do research and threat intelligence, because you can only protect what you can see. If you can't see, you cannot protect it.
Pretty much. It's a very good thing that you actually mentioned some of those products that you're getting into. Can you tell me now, I know one, which is Cisco X, pretty much. What others are you launching at this time, and what are they really targeting? Just briefly so that we can understand.
So we've made a lot of announcements, and they're really enhancements into the products that we are launching. So Cisco Securex. So we've basically launched Cisco Securex as part of our security platform, but we do have other solutions and products that we have. One of the announcements that we went out with, and it's not necessarily a new product that we're launching, but it's how it has become critical. Let me take you a step back on what Cisco looks at. Cisco aspires organizations to transform their infrastructure, secure their data, reimagine their applications, and empower their teams. Now, in these 4 pillars, we are aligning ourselves to our customers. Across all the 4 pillars, we've launched different products in which our customers can be able to use. We have put enhancements in some of the products and solutions that we have. We have driven a lot more discussion around the future of the internet. If I just take WebEx alone, we have what we call a control hub. Now, the control hub is new to WebEx today. Number one, it allows users to have what we call a WebEx assistant. Think about social distancing. Today, if I have WebEx and I've enabled it on a device similar to the one I am using, multiple people using a shared room will have to touch the room. For social distancing, that is a bit of a problem when COVID is happening. With WebEx assistance, you can just dictate to the WebEx assistant to be able to start the meeting. So you reduce the number of times an individual touches a solution. You also use the same platform to provide secure access for doctors and patient care. So if a nurse wants to speak to a COVID patient and they have this enabled collaboration platform powered by WebEx with all the new integrations and features that we've put in place, they can provide patient care without the need of PPEs, where PPEs are not available. They can provide patient care without putting themselves at risk. And we're seeing some of these solutions being used currently, some of the hospitals where we enabled it, mostly in the US, because you need to have the underlying platform for you to be able to use this. But some of these solutions will really determine what and it's a whole set of solutions, a lot of press releases and press briefings, which we can share with you that you can look out for and even share.
Pretty much. Now, another question that you're going to face, Sally, when you are in the market is exactly how businesses now. Yes, there's now the stress of going online. Now, most businesses, and I would like to think smaller businesses, are going to look for cheaper options. And I'm talking about solutions that are available online for free, where a business would like to peg itself into Talk to me about that. Why should a business or an organization right now that is stressing on its presence online look for a personalized online solution as opposed to going into a cheaper alternative where it is open source and the only thing I have to do is pretty much put my business inside there?
The first thing that will come to mind is security, because as a business, you want to be able to secure yourself. And Cisco actually understands this space very well, because you have to look at cost versus security. And what Cisco has done is launch a solution called Cisco Designed. And Cisco Designed is curated products of our products and our solutions for small businesses. They're very favorably priced. A lot of them are online and cloud. Our customers can test them anytime. For example, the trial that you currently have, we avail it to our online, to our small customers. Our small business customers can go online and start our WebEx trial and have it for 90 days and figure out how to work it. If you look at the pricing for WebEx as an enterprise solution, it is very affordable for small businesses. Yes, we do have free offers for some of the solutions that we drive, but we would and we often advise our customers to think about their security and how they run their businesses online, especially small businesses, because they have to contain their costs.
What is the difference? Where is the balance when it comes to security vis-a-vis the price? Have you tried to get that balance? Because in the economy, you have to run into issues like that.
Yeah. And obviously, we will never compromise on security because, as I said, our DNA is always around security. The Cisco designed solutions, which are specific for small businesses, actually put security top of mind. But then take into consideration price. Now, if you think about it, how do we get to a good balance? We don't talk about price specifically, but how do we get to a good balance? The way to get to a good balance is to understand. Typically, a small business will have 100 users, 1,000 users maximum. Is building a solution, curating that it fits small business. They're able to afford it. Yes, we look at the balance with security. We will not compromise on security, but also the price.
Sally, another question that you're going to run into, especially, is questions around customer presence and the customer feel of the solutions that you're coming up with right now. So, in a nutshell, these solutions you're coming up with, what is the general experience that the end user, who I like to think is the customer, because these businesses are all doing this just so that their customers can get the feel of these solutions. How would you summarize the experience to be once I get into using these solutions as a business?
I would like to hear the response of this from you as well, because you're one of our customers today trying the solution. So very good question. I like it. The feedback we're getting from our customers today is they are loving the solutions. They are appreciating the solutions. One of the quickest things Cisco was able to do, and I appreciate that I work for an organization that is capable of doing this, was turn on a lot of companies that did not know what they were going to do when COVID happened. Now, the minute they started using the platform, you start to get feedback. We have many, many customers trials at this point in time. We have a lot of customers that we've enabled some of these solutions through, whether they're schools, governments, hospitals, wherever they are at. And they're just the fact that they're able to continue with their daily business and the fact that it is not interrupted, they appreciate what we've been able to give to them. As you start your trial, I believe you started it yesterday. As you start your trial and go through your trial, I would love to hear your feedback in terms of how do you love the platform that you currently have. And the feedback we're getting from our customers is, number one, it is appreciated, and number two, it is relevant and appropriate for what we call the next normal.
What do I want to feel, Sally, if you can get me, what do I want to see in terms of security as a user online from your product? What are these key areas that I'm going to look at and say, well, yes, this is a secure product now, which has been put online by Cisco?
Allow me to use the same platform that we're working on so you can grasp about it, but I will talk about other products and how you feel secure. If you take WebEx, for example, as a platform, which is an online communication web conferencing, a solution similar to what we're using, we enabled the trial for Metropole. And when I was connecting in this morning, what happened was I dialed into the link that you shared with me, the meeting that you created. I was Cisco. So you don't even have a chance of somebody who is a stranger or somebody who is a risk for the organization getting into the meeting room or into the meeting. Imagine it as a physical room and somebody is able to just walk into the door, which is not closed. So the first door that you have closed is you as the host admitting me onto the platform. So by the time you admit me, you know who I am, you know why I'm here and what I'm here to do. Now it's being able to understand that comes automatically with a solution. If I think about other products where it's not so obvious from a WebEx perspective, it's the comfort that I can see what is actually happening in my environment, in my network, in my connections, such that if there is a change in behavior or there is a change in what is normal, then I can question it. As I said, there is no way you can be able to protect something that you do not see. And if you do not see it, you cannot protect it. So it's so important that the organization that you choose for your solutions as an organization is an organization that can guarantee you security, but more importantly, that you can verify that security is guaranteed. It's not just a conversation.
All right, Sally, I've got to ask you this question because there's this conversation that we're talking about right now. Now, question is going to be, is this a conversation for now? Whatever products you're launching right now, are they giving us solutions because we are fighting the COVID-19 pandemic, or this is the start of understanding the future of the internet?
It's a very good question. We've always had these products. What we've done is have enhancements on them. We were always planning to have these enhancements because of the future of the internet. What we've seen is what we thought will take a longer time has actually been accelerated by COVID. Because nobody, as I said, when we launched the internet of the future in December, nobody anticipated would be in the pandemic we are in right now, and even in the circumstances that we are in right now. So the solutions that we've built are not just because of COVID or addressing the COVID pandemic. It is because this is where the future is going. We live in a society today where everything supposed to be, or people's expectations are things that are instant. Something is instant, a lot of activity needs to happen. But then more importantly, it must be guaranteed. So we've been building these solutions. We've reimagined the future of the internet. We built the original internet. So it's only expected that we would of the building of the new internet future. So these products are for today, and more importantly, easy to turn on as to have this conversation.
Fantastic, Sally. I appreciate you talking to us this afternoon. It has been a lovely conversation. So just as we clear, I really want you to stress why you see this as the future of the internet.
Okay, so what was once deemed as the future of work turned into a current reality almost overnight. As businesses tried to accelerate and digitize and get automated, the future became their reality because of the pandemic. Why I see this is important for the future is those who are prepared were able to move on and turn on quickly. Organizations today must ask themselves, what if thing changes? Am I capable of continuing, or does my business die? And the internet and the future of the internet and the digitization and the automation and the security that comes with it is really what is going to define organizations. I want you to think about how our life has changed just in the last 5 years. The way you would hail a taxi, for example, you would put up your hand and say, or even call your neighbor. In Kenya, we would call your common taxi driver. Today, you just go onto your phone and you hail a cab using Uber, using Taxify. That already shows where we are going. But now, including all the devices that will come and get connected, the future is for us to capture with the internet and digitization. But security must remain top of mind.
We couldn't have a better conversation around the future of the internet. That is Sally Kimeu of Cisco, really trying to tell you exactly why you need to log on to the future of the internet at Cisco. I'm gonna say that we're using WebEx right now, and so far, not so bad. We're still in the trial period. Guess what? We shall be getting back to her with those answers of exactly what we've seen so far around that. Talk about the future of the internet. We're in it right now. That is your show this morning. You can take her back to the time she started to speak to us this morning at Metropole TVKE across all your social media platforms. And I know you have those questions. Guess what? We shall get to sample them, send them to her, and probably she will respond to you directly on those areas that you want to have a say on. My name is Simba Elijah Charles here.